Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite and welcome back to Harvest December. So, bridal June. Apparently there's a lot of weddings in June in this part of the country. Anyway, before I knew it, the MP3 player I had on my pencil case had stopped. It had reached the end of its playlist. My hand stopped too. I should take a break. I closed my notebook. I slumped back in my chair and closed my eyes. Is this, Mayoi? Mayoi? The big sister to Madoe? I think it is.
Hey.
Anyway, I thought it was quiet, but it was funny how the rain outside sounded louder now. My family was happy about the wet weather, though, claiming it was good for the rice we farmed. I opened one eye. Okay, so this sounds like it's still Kohai, because, I'm pretty sure Mayoi's family doesn't farm rice. Anyway, I opened one eye. I looked at the corner of my desk, then there, and there, as if it would go anywhere, right? I don't know. Anyway, I remembered Masaki's words. Then, hey, can I borrow your shaver? My kid sister Mizuho barged into the room. I've told you so many times before, knock before you come in. Come on, it's no big deal unless you've got something to hide. Or maybe you do. Hey, I'm all in for some entertainment if you've got some embarrassing secret. Tell me, tell me. Shut up, Mizuho. I still remember that time when I discovered your secret self-penned poetry book back in your secondary years. That was hilarious. It was worth spying on you for 3 hours from the ceiling. You were spying on me? My sister was really atrocious. I mean, are any sisters not? Source, I have one. Lately, Mayuri had been spending most of her time in her laboratory at school, so I thought we'd get some peace and quiet at home, but... What do you need my shaver for? Well, Mayuri-san and Madoe are here now, and it's been a while since they've visited, so I thought we should shave some hair off. From where? You pervert. I couldn't retaliate to that. We just need the shaver off my nunchuck, though. Okay? Don't get me wrong. That sounds like all kinds of wrong, little sister. Care to explain? I told you, it's for my nunchuck, and I need to shave it. Please, more detail, I'm lost here. Well, it started when we decorated my nunchuck with some fur. We thought it would look kinda cute, but then it got too furry, so I needed to shave some of the hair off. Where did you get the fur from? Shiro. Mizuho pretended to grab onto an invisible handle. Then she gestured her arm to make a large scoop in the air. Poor thing. I felt bad for Shiro because from what I had deducted, he had been shaven bald with a pair of clippers. Like a sheep or something like that. Well, he's going to shed his winter coat anyway. Makes no difference if we take some now, right? Whoa, I really felt for him now. I'm surprised that I let you get so close to the pair of clippers, though. He is the companion of a god, you know. Did you bribe him with food? That's the weird bit, Izuho said, forming a pout with her lips. At first, he was resisting us, but after Mayoi-san whispered in his ear, he just said woof, and gave up. What does she have on him? I don't know. Anyway, where's the shaver? It's in the bathroom. Clean it when you're done with it, okay? Sure. I knew I couldn't count on that. Even so, talking with Mizuho kept my mind off other things. I was in a better mood. Can I borrow your scissors too? She walked over. Jeez. Mizuho made a sick face as she glanced at the open textbook on my desk. I can't believe you're actually studying. Leave me alone. But we made a pact we'd only study overnight for exams. We did no such thing. You're going to leave me and be successful yourself. Hey, that's... I should have hidden it. But it was too late now because Mizuho had picked up the folded wrapping paper from the corner of my desk. You kept this. It's handmade. So what if I did? Ew. She looked disgusted. If Sune found out, she'd go mad, out of happiness. Don't tell her. Okay, I won't, but... Did you talk to her? About what? This. Mizuho slapped my textbook with her hand. It's inevitable you'll have to, so the sooner the better. Also, what? If you make Sune cry, we won't forgive you. Uh-huh. I looked away from Mizuho, unable to meet her eyes. I know. It was still raining. Alright, that was short. When did I start? 5 minutes ago. I'll keep going. I took a mouthful of stir-fried greens before biting into my croquet sandwich. Too bad we didn't get to see it, right, Masaki? Why are you asking me? Because it's relevant to our bright future. More like our dark future, Masaki muttered as he ate his lunch. You should have been there. It was so pretty. There was something ethereal about watching a wedding procession in the rain. Think Kitsune no Yomeri. Kitsune no Yomeri. That's like a whole sentence right there. Fox's wedding. Okay, so something about sun showers. That's expressive. Apparently, fox spirits walked the town in their procession too. I would have been interested to watch that. Don't worry, soon you'll experience it first-handed. We all averted our eyes from the two. Can't ignore the fact that you seem to get talkative when it comes to mythical or spiritual subjects. What can I say? I'm a romantic. Says he honorably, who wears scars from Kubikirimaru due to infidelity. If you were a knight in the medieval times, you'd have had your knighthood stripped. I'm a peasant, and I'll always be a peasant. Urgh, you two have a way to make me squirm. You mentioned fires lit up where Shiro walked. Yeah, in other places people would light candles, but in Tagami it's a real onibi. Spirit fire, will-o-wisp thing. Alright. Cool. Everybody was imagining the bride and groom, but Masaki seemed to be intrigued by the ritual itself. The two accompanying them looked happy too. Well, they're going to have a share in the blessing too, so I'd imagine they would be. Although I have my doubts whether being blessed by that god of ours has any effect. Urgh, Yuki, you're saying the same thing Kohai said. They looked nervous, but really happy. Right, Kohai? I didn't notice. Why did she meet to confirm something like that? Okay. I ignored her pout and finished my sandwich. You know, you're all too relaxed. It's already the summer of our 3rd year of high school. Shouldn't we be studying harder? Excluding Masaki since he already has a future planned out for him after school. I'm not getting married yet. Yet? Stop it, you're making me think everybody's manipulating me into doing things I don't want to do. Masaki sobbed. I ignored that, since the guy's tears don't really affect me at all. I always wonder how you manage to stay put so together when you've transferred here at such an inconvenient time for the examinations. That's because I've got a letter of recommendation. Masaki talked about the local university he was planning to enroll in. That's a pretty good university too, but with your grades, couldn't you aim higher? Zuho asked the question before I could. Dad works there. Oh no, don't tell me you've got daddy issues. I thought it would be fun. If you reply so seriously, it's hard for me to laugh it off. What did Mommy-chan say about it? Both of you choosing paths that don't make any money. Of course, Mommy-chan. But you know, Masaki, she has a point. Once you graduate, you'll need to learn about finances so you can help run Towada. I won't change what I want to do to suit others. I admit, I'm interested in Marxism, but it's a bit cold for my liking. I let out a breath and impressed by Masaki's decision. I imagined he would be suited to handling figures in politics, but it was like him to choose something different. How about you, Yuki? Are you going to the same university Masaki-san's going to? I'd like to, but I'm not. She mentions a prestigious school in a neighboring prefecture. It's become a family tradition to study there. That place is way up on the academic level. I'll manage somehow. The only thing I'm concerned about is the distance from Masaki's place. Why my place? Because we'll live together once we graduate from high school. Is that decided? I'm not surprised. Or rather, I'm surprised you haven't made her come to your room yet and wear kinky outfits and stuff by now. But then again, you're Masaki cold feet, Konno. Zuho-san. Masaki tried to defend himself by making all sorts of excuses. As he sputtered on, I glanced at Sine, who had gone awfully quiet. She was smiling, but she was looking down. Hey, if you don't mind, I'll eat that. I picked up a piece of fried chicken from Sine's bento box. It was salted properly and very tasty. How is it? I think your cooking skills are improving. They're just leftovers, though. It's a lie when she says they're leftovers, I recalled Yumi's words. It's really good. Yay! Sine looked up and smiled, and as if she'd finally found her place again. Sine was the only one among us that was going to work after graduating high school. I wasn't sure if smiling back at her when she wanted, if I was smiling back at her the way she wanted me to. I wasn't sure if I was able to keep being the Kohai she wanted me to be. And nearby, the other three were chatting animatedly, unaware of the turmoil we were going through. Thanks for your time, I said as I squeezed myself out the gap in the sliding door to the science preparation room. I knew it, I whispered in a small voice that Mayoi couldn't hear. On the glass of the door, there was a red paper. For red? There was a paper stuck to it with sellotape reading counseling room. Once in a few months, the students in the 3rd year were required to attend a one-on-one session with a teacher to discuss their chosen path after high school and assess whether their grades met their goals. Usually, an experienced teacher would be assigned, but this year, Mayoi was in charge because she had an abundance of experience in taking many different kinds of jobs. It took 2 days to finish one class. Appointments were set up for students throughout the day. I was the last one for the day, so I didn't expect to bump into anyone when I left the room. That took time. I thought your appointment was tomorrow. It was Sine. I had to hand in some stuff at the cooking club, so I thought I'd walk home with you since I knew you'd be here. She picked up the bag sitting on her lap and stood up. The large windows in the corridor were misted from the rain, making the panels look like frosted glass. They were white, but dull. Sine had her back to the window, and because of the light, I couldn't quite make out the expression she was wearing. Well then, let's go. Flinging my bag over my shoulder, I began to walk off. I didn't want to find out if her reason for waiting was a lie or not. I could hear her footsteps following me. I was somewhat irritated by her silence, the way her footsteps cautiously echoed mine through the sound of the rain. And as we were walking down towards the shoe lockers, "How was it?" she finally asked. "What do you mean? What did Mayoi-san say?" This was her real motive for waiting for me. "She told me to work harder, and gave me your pep talk." I smiled wryly. "Does that mean you have low chances?" "Yeah, but it also means I'm not entirely hopeless." "What were your results? What's the probability?" "I got a C, but that's an improvement since it used to be a D. That must be hard." The shadow, same thing. The shadow of an emotion lingered on her face. I almost asked, "Why do you sound happy?" but I swallowed the words. "Your appointment's tomorrow, right?" "Yeah, so I only have to attend classes in the morning. The classes we have at school aren't critical for our lives anyway. Like, who does algebra? I don't need to worry about entrance exams anyway." "What did Yumi-san say about that?" "Nothing. She already knows I'm going to take over when I graduate. There's no need to say anything about it." "You really are going to run Sine?" Why does everyone keep asking me that?" She laughed. Maybe she thought she was behaving as usual. I didn't know what to say. The girls' lockers were on the other side. I pushed my Uwa Baki. I think I've seen that one before. Come on. Shoes used exclusively inside school buildings to keep the floors clean. Alright, that's not a thing to have in the United States. Anyway, I pushed my school shoes into the locker and grabbed hold of my shoes. I let go of them in midair, dropping them to the ground. The sound of my shoes clattering on the floor echoed throughout the hallway. "It's something I've meant to do forever." I heard a voice from the other side of the wooden lockers. "It's not like I wasn't given a choice. I want to carry on Dad's legacy." Sine Marino, the only student in our class that chose not to further her studies. "I'm not smart like Masaki-kun, nor do I have responsibilities like Yuki. I don't want to make more time to play by prolonging my student life like Mizuho wants to. They can't model like Ao. On top of that, my family isn't rich enough to put me through college." "I'm not ashamed of that, and I'm not jealous. I know I'm a really good cook, and I love the regulars that come to our shop. There isn't a reason for me to choose otherwise." I just picked up something with my foot, and I have no idea. I don't know why I just spent the last 5 minutes playing with the power cord on the floor with my foot. Don't question me. Anyway, continue. Listing her choices and giving reasons why she should or shouldn't take them. What Sine said was probably from her heart. She was honest to a fault. I heard her close her locker. From that, I heard her loafers hit the floor. "I'm going to work at Sine after high school." Oh no, she was going to ask. "What about you, Kohai?" "I'm aiming for a university in Tokyo." I stuck my toes in my shoes that were lying on the floor in clumsy directions. "Even if I fail at the entrance exams this year, I've got a dormitory for a cram school. My parents said they would give me a second chance if I needed it." I pushed my feet and forcefully squashed the soles in rocky movements to fit them in. They finally fit into place. "Is there something you want to do?" "I love to read, so I'm going to study literature." I answered with the line I had rehearsed so many times in my head. "But you can read anywhere. What's wrong with studying what I like in detail?" I wish somebody else was here with us. We were alone, and the hallway was silent. I could hear her breathing. I walked towards the exit to get my umbrella from the umbrella stand. Perhaps it had absorbed some of the moisture from outside, so the surface was cold to the touch. I looked up at the large glass doors. They were partly cloudy, and I could see rain outside, and I looked away. I could see Sine's warped reflection in the glass. She was silently crying, trying not to make a sound. "Oh, okay." I felt like I had waited forever to hear her answer. "What's taking you so long? Come on, let's go." I pretended not to notice and said what Kohai Toyama would usually say. "Give me a minute, I'm hurrying." Sine replied the way Sine Marino usually would. I couldn't help but notice her voice wobble at the end. "Okay." I heard her unlatch the button on her yellow umbrella. She wrapped her fingers around the handle. You'll be fine, Kohai. I know you'll make it. She clutched the umbrella handle tightly in her fist. Okay. She looked up and smiled. I felt myself falter. There wasn't a trace of tears on her face. I was almost convinced what I saw in the reflection was just a figment of my imagination. Okay, I know, Kohai. What did she know? What conclusion did she come to? Yeah? I was too afraid to ask. We'll have a hard time replacing you at the shop. Yeah, you'll need someone for the physical work. The number of times I come to help out might decrease, but I'll try to drop by as much as I can. Yeah, it will decrease and then you'll be gone. Fear won over anger. There was nothing else I could say. I had a feeling anything I said would decide her fate, regardless of what she wanted. You know, it's almost opening time for the shop, so I should hurry home. She opened her umbrella. Catch you tomorrow, Kohai. Good luck for your studies. She began to walk away. I couldn't run after her. Even if I did, what was I supposed to say? Damn it, I muttered like Mizuho. It was inevitable, I knew. I had to tell Sene sooner or later, and I knew how much it would hurt her. This is tougher than I thought. I've been told, and I'm going to end this off here. So, for now, I hope you all enjoyed that. My name is Dragonite. In the next part, we'll be continuing with Bridal June, and I will see you all later.